The girl she mentioned is Shia, and the guards must have taken her, as well as her two brothers, while they weren't paying attention. Xiao Miao asks what they should do now. If they don't save them, they'll be bitten to death by the big mutant rats. The topic of rats catches Suchin's attention, since that was the main reason he came to the settlement in the first place. He decides to go and check it out for himself, and Ten asks him to stay calm and avoid conflicts. Meanwhile, in the arena, Xiao Miao nervously stands in the middle of the field, prepared to fight for her brothers. Captain Gua sits on a stage in front of her, clearly controlling the whole thing. He tells her that since her two brothers failed to complete their tasks, they have been given the death sentence. However, since she is willing to enter the arena and fight, he has decided to give them one more chance at life. The two brothers hang by their necks behind the man, inches away from their deaths. They shakily try to tell Xia not to believe him and to run for her life. But Captain Gua tells them that it's already too late for that now. Xia, on the other hand, refuses to leave. If there is even a small chance that her brothers will be free, then she will fight with everything she has to get them out of there. She asks the large captain one more time if he will really let them go, and he tells her that he will keep his word only if she manages to survive. Behind her, a cage opens up and a large rat marches toward her. She only has a second to turn toward it before it bites down on her arm, causing her to scream in pain. Then it lifts her off the ground and tosses her around, preparing to eat her. As she fights for her life, memories of her and her brothers swarm through her mind. She remembers a time when they were starving, and one of them managed to find a pile of mushrooms for them to eat. She told them that mushrooms were dangerous, and her other brother decided to test the mushroom by eating it himself. After all, he didn't want a young girl like Xia to eat something so uncertain. After eating two of them, he immediately passes out from the poison, and they barely manage to save him. That incident was what made the two brothers journey into the city to complete the task of tracking down Suchin. If they succeed and come back, then they will earn contribution points and they will no longer have to starve and eat uncertain foods. Those two men, that risked their lives for their sister, now shout for her to run and not worry about them. She needs to survive and live well without them. They can't bear to watch her being eaten alive by a rat. Captain Gua tells his guards to shut them up, and they kick the logs holding the men up, causing them to fall and choke on the ropes. Xiao Miao screams for her brothers and tries to fight back against the rat. She takes the large stick she's been holding and stabs it straight into the rat's eye, causing the creature to scream in pain and finally release her. Then she makes a mad dash to save her brothers and tells them to hang in there. That's a poor choice of words, but her heart is in it. The rat monster recovers and manages to rush after the girl before pinning her down under its paw. Captain Gua laughs at the whole spectacle of her trying to save her brothers. As Xiao cries for her brothers, there's no way for her to escape, and all seems lost already. While the rat looms menacingly above her, in one last effort she screams for someone to come and save them. And Suchin immediately arrives, killing the rat with one quick slap to the face. The others are right behind him, and Ten screams at Suchin for being too impulsive. To Suchin though, that was too easy of a kill, and these creatures were nothing but overgrown rats. Captain Gua stares at him in shock but manages to quickly recover. He didn't expect someone to come into his arena willingly. But since it's death that our protagonist wants, then he will happily give it. As he talks, large gates open up around them, and the rats inside scurry over each other to escape. Suchin stares them down and prepares to take on an army of giant rats with one hand in his pocket. While Suchin faces off against the rats, Xia Miao and Ten manage to free the two brothers from their death traps. They thank her for saving them, but the little girl reminds them that it's actually Suchin that saved them. Meanwhile, in the higher floors overlooking the arena, a soaked assassin watches the match in contempt while standing behind a scientist. The man in the lab coat asks if Suchin is the special research material that she mentioned before. She confirms that he is someone with superior genes that will definitely solve the instability of the Doomsday genes. If they can do that, then they will be able to make the rats that were created using the latest technology bigger and more ferocious than before. Suchin stares those same rats down. It seems like both of them are ready to attack in an instant. The scientist has high hopes for our protagonist, but if he dies here, then he doesn't deserve to be their experimental subject. Suchin wastes no time unintentionally proving himself by easily killing several giant rats in less than a second. His companions gasp in shock, and Tina wonders if this is the Suchin he really knows. Unfortunately, despite all of his showing off, there were no crystal nuclei in any of the giant rats. That meant that his only hope of getting one would be from the Rat King. Just then, as if on cue, someone makes an announcement from the speakers set up around the camp. It's the scientist that has been overlooking the fight this entire time, and he tells everyone present that Suchin is the experimental material he needs for his work. He orders Captain Gua and Tinu to bring him up, whether dead or alive. It looks like the two bosses of the settlement answer to him, and Captain Gua is more than happy to bring Suchin over for experimentation. Miao quietly warns Dana to run away with him quickly because the situation has become dire. If she doesn't leave now, then she won't be able to leave again in the future. She tells him that she's not leaving as long as soon as there. Captain Gua mockingly tells Tinu that he knows the field team leader and Suchin are brothers. So now that he has received a direct order from their boss, what's he going to do? Will he stick with his brother, or will he side with the man that helped him survive the apocalypse? Suchin ignores the fat madman and asks Tina what's going on, and why things seem to be growing into chaos. The faction leader tells him that the man upstairs is Lu Haiyan. At the beginning of the apocalypse, the scientist developed a drug that makes people stronger. Thanks to that, he was able to control the university. But nothing is free in the apocalypse. The drug needs a user to trade their life force in exchange for strength. Once they stop taking the drug, they become weaker than anyone else. Because of their dependency on the drug, they have to follow all the orders from the scientist, no matter what. His only hope in this situation would be Su Chen, who offers an escape from the drug dependency, but only if Tina follows him. The faction leader bows his head and tells his brother that unfortunately, he doesn't have a choice in this matter. Captain Gua laughs wildly at the apparent betrayal between brothers. Seeing them turn against each other motivates him to take out our protagonist once and for all.